Hello everybody, Crab here, and last time we completed Phase 4, which unlocked the Trigons and Time Crystals, which we're going to be building inside of this cave, like some weird mixture of Thanos and Iron Man. Now, let us begin. Now, of course, the very first thing we have to do is get a train into the cave we're going to be working in, and that cave is this one right here. As you can see, global illumination is not on, because this would be dark and I would be unable to do anything whatsoever. I'd just be blind. So for now, we're going to keep it off so we can block our factory out. Now, the train line is coming in right here, and I think I'm going to put the train station either in this corner right here, or right here, and have my train line go around this waterfall. We'll just have to figure out how well I can build circles and how large of a circle I'll need to make the tracks look nice. Okay, I went a little overboard, but it's fine. Oops, I forgot to connect this all the way. I did a little bit of details, but it doesn't really matter. We have the train station and we have this loop that goes around and then it goes back out. And then we have this little detail right here in the back. These are like posts that are holding up the train station. Most of the detailing, though, I'll be doing later. But, you know, basic block of where this train station is going, it's going to go right here. Now, I know somebody will ask how you do these curves, and so I will show you. There are two ways to do curves. We'll go through both in this video, but the very first one, the one that I almost always use, is you take your little catwalks, and then depending on how big or wide you want your curve to be, you put catwalk on the end. I don't know what button you use or what it's called, but mine is C. It's for the snap mode. And what you do is you basically nudge it a little bit and go out by 2, and then just follow along in this process, and then attach your foundations to the inside of the catwalks, and boom bada bing, you have a mini curve. This is a very easy way to do it. You can do it in like multiple segments, so I only turn the catwalk one individual bit in, but you can do it up to 3 and they still look pretty good. This is it with 3, and I'm pretty sure this is as tight as a train line will go, but you can always go tighter if you really want to. But that's how I do most of my train line curves, or most of my curves in general, because it's super easy and it gives you a lot of flexibility when it comes to changing the curve halfway through to suddenly be tighter or wider. Now we need to block out the rest of the machines in this area. We're going to be making the Ficsit Trigons and the Time Crystals inside of here. The reason for that is above us there is a SAM node right here, 2 limestone nodes, a coal node over here, and a Caterium node right here, which means in this general area we have all 4 things that we need, and we need them to get the peak efficiency upgrade. I guess it's a milestone, not an upgrade, but whatever. But of course, we need to put all those machines in here nicely while keeping this beautiful cave feel. Now, I'm going to try and keep everything to the same grid, so I'll be having a lot of stuff around. Ignore this. It's not really planned just for gridification. But up here, we have our very first set of things. These are converters. They're the new things we unlock. And in them, we get to make time crystals and Ficsit ingots and turn one kind of ore into another kind of ore using the reanimated SAM. We're going to be using this alternate recipe, or I guess a different recipe, because it's not actually an alt recipe, it comes with it, but it's the reanimated SAM and Caterium for the Ficsit ingots, because I do not have any iron nearby, so I cannot use the iron. The next thing I need to place is particle accelerators, which I'm thinking up here, because this is the largest space that is available to me. And with this large space, I feel like it would be cool to have this nature a little bit visible, but particle accelerators sitting on top. We will have to overclock them though, because if we just grab one, we are going to be using this alternate recipe, which uses coal and limestone to make diamonds, and we need 50 diamonds, so we are going to have to make each machine produce 25, because I think I can only fit 2 particle accelerators up here, because there isn't a lot of space, but they fit really nicely in this nature area. Okay, I did slightly more than particle accelerators, but if you look, they look very nice. They sit up here nicely. But I also did stuff down here. These are the converters that are making our time crystals. Those ones up there are making our Ficsit ingots. These ones are making our time crystals. For the Ficsit ingots, I actually only need 4, not 5, so I'll probably be deleting this one right here and spreading these out a little bit more to give them some space to breathe. These ones down here are, of course, for the time crystals. Now, we are going to be making 5 in each machine, so we need all 5 converters. I'm going to put them just in a foundation right here, because I feel like we should have some nice concrete that lines the water and kind of reinforces this general area. And then up here, I had a funky dory little idea for some hanging like constructors, because I need to make reanimated SAM, and I'm going to have the SAM belt coming down from up there into the cave. And so I feel like it would be cool to have these constructors kind of like hanging up here. And also when you come in on the train, looking up and seeing machines that are working and moving, I feel like it's just going to look really nice up here. So we're going to have a little curve for our 5 constructors that need to go here. Now, the last things I need to do is the constructors for the Ficsit Trigons. And then we also need smelters for our Caterium. And I think I'm going to put constructors over here. And then the only place that doesn't have machines is this back area right right here, I think the smelters would fit nicely like along this waterway. So I used that curve technique again to kind of get this foundation in, and I feel like this will fit nicely. We need 14 smelters, so they're going to go along this concrete bit right here, and we'll probably bring this concrete bit down. Why can I never stay in the air? I'm never just allowed to fly. I'm always just falling constantly when trying to show things off. But we'll have this wall go down and kind of reinforce this area, put all the smelters on top, and then over here we're going to be putting our constructors. Now, I told you there were 2 ways to do circles. There's probably more, but there's 2 ways that I know of, and this is the other way. What you do is you take your foundation, hold snap mode, and then you can again rotate your foundation. Usually I do, in this tightest space, 3 ticks of a rotate before going out, and we extend our foundation out to make the curve, and then delete these bits in the middle, and then 1, 2, 3, do it again, and now we have started to make our curve. So for wider curves, you want to do just 1 rotation. So if you do 1 tick, you can go out to 10 meters and it gets pretty nicely. I think you can actually go out to 15 before you start having to do some weird stuff towards the back ends. But anyways, that's the second way to make curves. Now I'm going to put constructors right here. I think the constructors look nicely down here, especially since they're highlighting this waterfall bit. But now we need to start making some blueprints. So we're just going to shove our blueprints in the sky right here, because why not? Where else would I put it? And we're going to start doing all the little details. Now, the very first thing we're going to do is make particle accelerators, because they're the big boys. We should do them first, and they can kind of run our base idea. Very first thing I did, since we are going to have these things kind of on like a dais, we're going to put them off the ground using these beautiful frame foundations, and so I've built a little base. Now, I think I need to detail it better. I think I need to make this thicker. And I also want to add lights below, but maybe not. We'll see. Okay, I placed them down, but I feel like it's easier to show the details up close over here. So what I did was add a path out front, because I am going to have walkways going everywhere. Of course, the particle accelerator is sitting on it. Then underneath, we have these 2 large billboards. Detail-wise, I still need to thicken this foundation. This is just too thin, and so that's what I'm going to do. But I do think this walkway out front fits nicely. I do want walkways snaking around this area. Same with belts. We're going to have belts hanging or being on like pedestals going in between each section of factory, and just making it feel like this place is interconnected instead of being these separate machines that are spread out. I realized while building this, I very much like this wireframe foundation design, and I feel like I want to do it for the rest of the factory. I don't know exactly where yet. I don't know if these will be on foundations or if they'll be, you know, raised up like this. Those ones might not be. These ones probably will be, because they're, you know, hanging from the ceiling. I feel like this makes more sense than a concrete slab going into the wall. You know, like, but we'll get to all of that later. Very first thing we need to do is fully finish the particle accelerators, and then we're gonna move on. Well, yeah, actually, probably to these constructors, because I really want to see what they look like hanging. Like, if we get lights right here that can kind of like shine on these converters, and then I also have a cool another thought. We'll have the belts, like the outputs going down and into mergers below them, so you can like see the items moving. Anyway, I have funny ideas for this. It's gonna be fantastic. Okay, first of all, I had like bits around the particle accelerators, kind of finished them off and thickened the foundation, but I also did stuff to the constructors. You can't see them. Maybe I should use a flashlight. This is the blueprint right here. Basically, same idea as the particle accelerators. We have our thick foundations. We have a light sitting underneath, except this one is much brighter because of the converters that are going to be below it. You know, highlight them a little bit, because pretty. Then, of course, we have the conveyor output bit going down underneath to connect to a merger, and then we're placing them in a curve right here. They look fantastic, and I love them. But something I would like to mention, considering all these blueprints will be on my Patreon, if you do end up getting them and you want to know how to deal with this gap right here, if you turn these into a curve, here's what you gotta do. First, you go to your middle, you change your beam to freeform mode, you place it across, then you change your beam to default mode. Hold it in the beam you just did across, make it a 2-meter foundation, or, you know, whatever even number you come across. Delete the old one. Take your half foundation, snap it into place, and then nudge it forward a little bit so it kind of sits in the middle. I don't know what button it is to do the build mode. I have mine set to like a button on my mouse, but you basically just nudge it around until it fits in here. Then you delete your beam, go back to freeform mode, and freeform like so. Then you connect and fill in this gap, and so this curve actually looks pretty nice instead of having this ugly thing right here. And it should not interfere with your lights down below. It should just connect this gap right here. It will ignore these lights. Speaking of lights, if we look down here, we'll notice a little bit of a glow on these constructors, or these converters. It is very beautiful, and I love them. Oh my god, this is fantastic. Also, I didn't know, but these things are purple. when you have global illumination on, and it's fantastic, and I love it. Dude, this is my favorite building. Granted, this is the only new building I've seen. I think there's like 4 more, but this is my favorite one so far. It's just amazing. But I do want to add paths up here because I feel like it would be cool to have like a path going for the particle accelerators, like follow and then come all the way up here. I think I'm going to add them to the back, but I don't quite know how yet, so I'm going to figure that out. Okay, the back path, I came up with an idea. So the cool part about most machines in this game is that you have these little points where pathways automatically will go to. For the constructor's example, it goes on the back. What we can do now is we can take this path, and since we're dealing with a curve, we basically take this barrier and we put it like on the end to make this the new middle, and then we can take the catwalks that we want and zoop them. That might not have made a lot of sense, but you saw what I did. Hopefully you understand. And then we just have this nice curve that goes around. Like, it just looks so nice. And then we'll go all the way around and we'll detail it a little bit. And then we add our little beams in and we have this nice walkable path up here. Oh, and we can see like up. Like properly. Oh, this is cool. All right, I think it's converter time because these have been sitting here and I want to do something with them. So, to the blueprint maker. Well, no, I'm the blueprint maker. This is the blueprint where I make the blueprints. Yeah, that makes sense. So I was thinking about these, you know, and I was like, what do I want to do to make them look pretty? And then I looked over there and I was like, well, what if we just stole this and did it right here? So that's what I did. I put a converter on kind of another dais and then put lights below it. Here's something we're gonna have to figure out. I do want to keep this concrete wall. I think it looks good. So what I'm trying to do is basically do what I did when I was making I just hit my mic with my hand. I have no idea what that sounded like. But I made these buffers when I was making my fuel power plant. And basically, they're just this raised area that you kind of can't go to that kind of displays the buffer. And so my thought is, if we do that exact same thing, but with these converters, if we raise them off the ground a little bit, but keep this foundation, so they're like very clearly placed on something. Like if we just use some of these frames or frame foundations and brought them up a little bit. And I'm also thinking, what if we had like different heights? What if I made like one basically on the ground and the next one like up a foundation and then just went back and forth? Or we could do basically on the ground, up a foundation, and then up 2 foundations in the middle and then back down. Actually, yeah, let's try that. Okay, global illumination lights underneath, they look fine. I feel like this amount of illumination is good. Do I like the converters at this sort of angle? Yes, I do love this. The thing that I don't like is this concrete foundation below. I feel like it just doesn't work well. I don't know why I have it here. It doesn't make sense if we're just going to raise like these converters. And that was my thought process for a good second. But then I realized something. If we just take an inverted ramp, not that one, this one, and we kind of just, why aren't you doing what I want you to do? Anyways, inverted ramp, we can have the belts going across here for our time crystals, and then these ones, which are making our Ficsit Trigons, we can have the belt come up and around, and this can kind of hold where the belt is, which will then go over to the train station. We can sushi belt it, because that'd be interesting, or we can leave them separately. I don't know yet. But the other thing we can do is have the walkway. We can have a walkway that follows along with this like staircase design, but we don't have to have them be attached to the converters. We can bring them slightly above and a foundation out to like maybe here. So we're walking along next to them. And then we can maybe go over the constructors or go down and connect to either the front or back of these constructors to keep the pathway going. But worst case scenario, if I don't like this concrete foundation, I just delete the concrete foundation and take this wire frame and just zoop it down. But for now, I like how this looks. So now we're going to move on to those beautiful converters that are along this wall. What am I going to do with them? I have no idea. See, if you're enjoying the video, you should just subscribe, because I'm a genius, and you won't get these great ideas from anywhere else. What do we do with converters that are on a wall? Well, we just make them wall converters. We take constructor idea of hanging off wall and convert it into converter idea. I'm just a genius. We need to get this on the wall now, because this is gonna look beautiful, cannot lie. Look at them, they're beautiful. And these ones, I have the lights below being like full 3 and glow because you want to be able to see all the pretty water underneath. And like they hang along this wall just so nicely, and they fit in with the other converters. Like if we come from the back here and we kind of like just look at them from far away, like look at it. Look at it, it's so nice. Oh my God, my brain is just huge. I'm just mega genius. I'm also extremely humble, clearly. Okay, but these just fit in. I like how they are. They look beautiful along this wall. I feel like they fit, like this purple fitting with the blue of the... Is this fungus? What is this? Well, it's alien fauna. I don't really care what it actually is, though, because, haha, it matches with the purple... I forgot what these are called. Are they hexagons? No. Maybe? What shape is this? I'm just not willing to look it up. There's 6 of them, so maybe it's whatever 6 is in Roman. Anyways, it looks good. Now we're gonna move on to the smelters because yes. By the way, sorry for going back and forth between global illumination, but I wanted to make sure the lights underneath all these things look nice. If it gets annoying, too bad, you get to deal with it. The smelters, I've brought them a foundation out, or half foundation out. I had them a half foundation in more, but the curve didn't work right, so I had to redo the curve. We'll just delete these bits, but we're gonna have a path going out front because duh. Now, if you did watch my fuel power plant video, you'll recognize this little design below. We are using inverted frames and a wall and this overhang bit to display our lovely smelters. I did want to keep these on concrete because I feel like we don't have enough concrete around here considering everything's just hanging. But this is all 14 smelters in a nice little curved kind of line, and it follows this water nicely, and I love it. I might add lights underneath, maybe, because, you know, water and reflections are tasteful and wonderful. Or maybe I'll put lights like below the path I put right here. But this just looks good. I like them. And with these in, even though I don't have a path, technically speaking, everything has been blocked out and detailed enough. Since the only 2 things with paths are the particles and the constructors up here, we need to add paths to everything else. Anyway, I gotta figure it out. Paths are gonna look beautiful because, as we know, I'm a genius. I make everything look lovely. That is a blatant lie. I still hate the wall design that I did here, but like there's nothing I can do about it. Okay, anyways, back to pathways. Okay, so I got like this little walkway in front of the converters right here, and like it's fine and all, but it needs pillars, clearly. The problem is I don't know how to do them. Now, the reason for that is I tried doing one, which is this one right here. But the problem is I was trying to make it in a similar style of how I'm gonna do these, which is going to be the belt pillars, which will kind of go around this area, which these are the ones for the ground. I'm gonna make ones for like on the ceiling. I was trying to do something similar where I had like this kind of design, except the walkway would be on top, and it just doesn't look right. And this might not even look right. I haven't placed any belts down. What I'm trying to do now is figure out, do I want to, 1, keep this separated from these converters or just attach it to them? Because then I don't have to make pillars for this specific section. And then I can deal with pillars later or have walkways go above where the belts are. And so it looks kind of a bit more connected. That's what I'm trying to figure out right now. And honestly, I think I am just going to take this walkway and put it along these converters instead of having it hanging slightly apart, because then I don't have to deal with pillars on top of concrete. And I feel like that'll make everything easier and it'll still like look fine. And granted, this walkway blocking this converter view is kind of annoying. We're just gonna shove it on the side right here and say, good enough. Okay, I haven't like detailed anything. Well, I guess not detailed. I haven't added in these thick beams yet, but if we look at the walkway, I don't know how I feel about just little concrete pillars going down. Like, they look fine. Also, this looks just fine along the converter path. I don't think I need to add anything. All I did was take the inverted frames and stick them out all the way, because these ones are like a half foundation in, so they do weird stuff. I made them normal, so they look like they support this pathway a little better. It works. It's fine. I like it. But I still need to figure out pillars for, like, the rest of the walkways, especially these ones and the ones that are going to be, like, way up in the sky. I do feel like these are too thin, especially if I'm going to be 10, 15 foundations up when I'm heading up to these constructors up here. That's a lot of space, and even though I could go and attach it to the wall, it's a lot of space to have a small little concrete pillar go down. Something I can do is painted beams. If I take painted beams and use a gray color to make them look a little bit thicker, that works as well. Oh, wow, that works really well. Okay, never mind. We may have found our solution. Hold up, let's try it over here. I'm pretty happy with that, actually. Is there a way for me to get, like, concrete color? I'm gonna have to go to the internet and see if I can get concrete color for the painted beams. I'll figure out exactly what it is, because this gray isn't quite right. But I do like it. It looks like a little round, but not quite. It's still bulky and blocky enough. So yeah, we have these attached to the converters here, and I have it so it, like, bridges off. So we have one section going to the converters. It ends over there. Then this spot will go up and over to these converters, and then also split to go down to the in front of the smelters, and then from the converters it will go up to the particle accelerators and up to these constructors. And would you look at that, when it's like it's nice. I meant once you had the painted beams, it looks beautiful. I started over here along the smelters, and I came across this little problem right here that I can do nothing about. There is I cannot do, I mean, like, I could maybe nudge something in a little bit. I don't want to. I'm just gonna leave the gap there. You know about this now. We're gonna move on. Well, actually, I need to finish the walkway. Wait a minute. And would you look at that? It's all nice and beautiful. And now I have this intersection. Yay! And it goes up to here. Basically made an intersection. I don't know what else to tell you. Now it goes up, and now we go along the converters right here. Now, something that's going to be annoying is the fact that I'm putting this pathway in front, which means the gaps in between each different section is kind of going to be... It will not be as easily seen because there's going to be a pathway in front of it kind of blocking it off. So I don't quite know how I feel about this, but I also don't want to take these below the converters because I want to see the things moving, and I don't want to take them above because then they block the converters. So this is one of those problems where it's like, I don't really know what to do. All solutions are kind of bad, and this is the best one I can come up with. But after we go along the converters, we're going to head up to the particle accelerators with a big bridge, which will be fun. Yeah, big bridge. It, looks fine. Honestly, I don't hate it that much. I feel like the bridges aren't thick enough to justify this thick of a support, but also with these beams, it makes them look thicker than they are. I'm fine with it. I think it looks good. So this corner right here looks fine. This one, maybe not so much. Don't quite know how I feel about the large pillar, but I will say this. It adds more to this build. I don't know if I kept it in the video, but earlier I was talking about layers, and having a lot of random pillars everywhere does add layers. Now we get to have a little bit of fun, because above us is where we have 3 belts coming down full of resources. Our SAM nodes, which are over there, and our 2 limestone nodes, which are over here. Now, the good part is our limestone nodes are going to come down through that crack and over to here because our particle accelerators need coal and limestone. Our coal is going to be coming from right out here. There is a little cave entrance, I believe, somewhere under that water or somewhere over there where I can bring the coal through and up over to these particle accelerators. With the limestone, we get to bring it down this cliff, which will be fun. Now, I've already made a few blueprints for it, so let's go and bring it down because it's going to look quite interesting. So after coming up the crack, we keep the same foundations because we need to stay part of the same grid. I have now connected up my 2 miners. These are the limestone miners. I do need to overclock them. We'll do that later. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to put in these foundations, and then we're going to go over to our blueprints, and we're going to grab these cave pillar 2. And what these are is they're little pillars that I put in the ground that I can then connect my belts up to. And then I also have another blueprint that I put below it to, you know, fully put in the ground. And we're just going to take the belts from these miners and bring them all the way across over to around here, and then we're gonna go down into the cave and kind of, well, you'll see. It'll look interesting, I promise. See, so when you put them in and they kind of sit on their own, they look a lot more attached to the environment, and I think they fit with the theme well enough. Usually, I do something like this, where it's just a long concrete bit that brings the belt along to where I want it to go, but that doesn't really work in this environment, where I have to go down into a cave, and so I wanted to emulate what would happen in the cave also up here, which is using these pillars to bring our belts across. This is how we are doing... This is how we're doing the wall. So these are basically just a sideways version of these pillars right here. We have the electricity nodes on the end, and then we have these conveyor lifts in the middle. And what we're gonna do is just bring them up to the right height. Same with this one here. Then we just straight mode our belts into place, and then we just head down, following this concrete foundation all the way down. Granted, this demonstration's stupid because I don't actually like this placement. These need to go up higher, and they need to go in a little bit more, but you get the idea. I also forgot to mention there's these, like, lights at the bottom of the pillars because I thought, why not? Now, when you look at it up here and they go into the wall quite far, it looks a little stupid, I cannot lie. So we're just gonna get rid of a few of them. But I do like them being close to the part where the actual belts are and where items will be coming down. Because, of course, when a global illumination is on, everything will look better with lights, because duh. I do think this pillar design works, however. I don't really have, like, a certain spacing because I don't know how many people know this trick. I feel like a lot do by now. I do have to nudge them in place because they are mildly annoying. For people who don't know, if you usually have a bit that a conveyor belt will go to, right? So if I bring it from the top down, it stops right here. This is as far as it will go. But if I bring it from a conveyor lift, floor hole thing, I said all the words just in the wrong order. Jesus. If I take it from the bottom one to one up top that's already been placed, it'll just auto-extend that far, as so. So it means I can make these whatever length I want. So I'm kind of just putting pillars wherever I feel like it is needed. Right here, right before this bit pops out, I felt like was a good spot. And then we'll probably just do another one down here onto the ground pillars, which I'll take over towards the particle accelerators. Okay, the intersection bit where I have to, like, change from sidewall to floor It's weird, all right? But this bit looks nice. I'm actually happy with it. I like how it's a bridge. Why is there uranium up there? What? I can't care. Okay. Oh, yay. Game lag, fun. So these belts are in. These are for the limestone. I'm going to get the SAM ore now. Oh, fun. This is going to be so annoying because I have to bring SAM ore down this crack. Actually, no, I have to bring it over to here. Oh, this might be interesting. If we go down and over and across and then down again, we'll make it to here. That'll be weird. Okay, this might be actually a fun little challenge. And boom, bada bing, we have a third one down for our SAM ore. It's coming from, you know, over there, whatever. But now that this is coming down, we are basically done up here. We just need to bring the coal in. So I have to figure out where coal is. It is, well, I know where it is. It's out front that way. Now I'm pretty sure this back entrance somewhere over here leads out to the coal and I can bring it in. Yes, so this crack right above the particle accelerators, if we just go up, we have our coal sitting right over here. So we'll bring it over and down and it comes right behind where the coal is going, which is into the particle accelerators, which is quite nice. And then once we bring coal in, technically speaking, we can turn everything on. I still need to actually hook up, you know, the belts to everywhere, but I would like to turn on the, you know, I still don't have the Caterium. So I was gonna say I'd like to turn on the diamonds, Caterium, and reanimated SAM, because those are the base things you need. But we don't have Caterium, which is also coming from up here. So hold on. We need one more belt. And boom, bada bing, now we have our fourth belt coming from the heavens above to deliver beautiful resources to this cave. This is also the first time seeing it go next to other buildings, and I gotta say, belts next to other buildings look good. I already messed something up, though. These are the wrong kind. Give me a minute. Okay, now we're using the right ones. There we go. But look, they're pretty and beautiful, and it like having this layer, this belt go across, it's just nice. It's beautiful. I love it. So with this, we have all but the coal. Why do I keep forgetting things? Oh my God, my brain. Okay, let me also get the coal belt. Okay, I have now finally brought every resource that I need from the outside world down into this goddamned cavern. This took way too long. It took me like 2 hours it's 4 belts. It doesn't matter. Okay, so coal, 2 limestone nodes. We have Caterium going around and we have SAM ore going to. Nothing is fully connected up yet. I want to do all the belts for the in-store machines, and then I will connect up the raw resources and we can get everything moving and grooving. I have now added one more blueprint for my belt blueprints. It is this upside down one because, yes, this is awesome. You cannot tell me it's not. Oh my God, it's beautiful. I love it. Anyways, this is the reanimated SAM going over towards Ficsit ingots. I already brought the Caterium up. It is being brought up very boringly. Now, I could fix this right here, but I'm not gonna because I can't care. The other thing I did was over here, I brought down the diamonds towards these converters, so they are now in. Same thing, just belts went across, blah, blah, blah. And I've now hooked up the Caterium and the Ficsit Trigons to power and kind of belted them around so they work a lot better. What I'm going to do now is take these lovely boys, which are the Ficsit ingots, and then bring them over to here so we can make our Ficsit Trigons. And then after that, we should be done. I mean, like technically speaking, we should be done. I can actually attach the resources to the 3 different sections that need to start everything and actually turn everything on. Well, the very first thing I should do is probably actually get power to all these belts, because right now there is no backflow of resources, so maybe I should change that. But yeah, the last belt I need to do is bringing these beautiful things down to here, and then that should be it. Then I just have to bring these 2 things, which are making our time crystals and Ficsit Trigons, and take them over to the train station and put them up towards my storage area. Now, that's the last bit for the machines. I still want to do lighting, and I'll have to figure that out, but that's something I get to deal with a little bit later. For now, let's just turn this all on. And now with this wire, everything should be hooked up, hopefully, I pray. Now I kind of just wait for all the resources to come through. I hooked up this coal line earlier, so there's already coal coming to these machines, but all the other stuff will now come down. And I gotta say, when I first entered this cave, I had zero idea what I was gonna do with it, and now I've shoved a bunch of things everywhere, and I think it looks less terrible than it did when I got here, but still pretty bad. But that's okay. I'm me, and I'm a harsh critic of myself. I do hope these are connected to the power system. Y'all good, right? Oh, it's not. Oh, great. Okay. Okay, I had to mess with these wires to make sure they were all together. But now everything is turning on and all the belts should start spewing resources down here. I do have to say, since we're waiting, let's look at this with the global illumination on. And I mean, this place is awesome. I have barely any lighting done, but just from the fact that the machines glow on their own, this place is just so fun to look at. I am trying to figure out how I'll do lighting. Wait a minute, where's my SAM ore? This is my SAM line. It should have turned on by now, but it hasn't. Up we go to check on my own mistakes. Oh, what do you know? I didn't connect a belt properly. My fault. Now all the SAM's going down. Good. Well, it's going up to then go down. But again, this place is just absolutely amazing, and that's what I was waiting for right there. Global illumination with the particle accelerators on. This is what I was looking for. This is awesome. Like, look at it glow. Oh my god, it's wonderful. I love it. But now I've officially made my first time crystals. Yes. Look at it. It's like a small square box. Well, I guess boxes are generally square a good amount of the time. Still waiting for Ficsit ingots to come on this slow line. I do like my belts to be how many resources are being made, so I'm making 50 Ficsit ingots at a time. So I put in a 60 line, which means these are going to take an absolute billion years to get where they need to go. But that's okay. Everything is technically working. So what I'm gonna do now is, before I connect everything up to the train station and get that all going, now we get to mess with lighting. This is the last step in the process. So we're going to do some very basic rudimentary things to try and figure out where I want to put lighting. I know I want some above these converters, these particle accelerators. I want to highlight these converters a little bit more, so maybe we'll add something hanging right here, somewhere in this space. Oh, and also the animations for converters is just awesome. Like, this is just, it just shoots random stuff everywhere, and it's purple, and my favorite color is purple. So these are my favorite thing in the world. Oh yeah, and we also officially have the triangles. I am finally the mix of Thanos and Iron Man. I have triangles and time crystals. I am God himself, and I built them in a cave. I'm a genius. See, it's about the subtle details of blaring light coming from above. This is a very basic little bit I did. I copied it from someone. I don't remember who. I just have it like as an image in one of my files, but it's just lights on this kind of slant bit. They're indented so they look a little better. They're set to glow too, and they just very much highlight these converters beautifully. I don't have one over there because, well, it doesn't fit, but I don't feel like I need it. I feel like these three being highlighted is good enough for me. And also, considering that we have light coming from below, it reflects back up, so it should be fine. I just wanted to do something. This was the first step, and now we get to do it for everything else. Oh, my FPS hates me. We're running at 46. Sadly, it looks like we have a little problem. I don't know how I will hang these lights. Trying to put lights above these converters right here just will not work because this ceiling is too high to justify like a big post or whatever. So I don't think I'm gonna have anything above here, which I'm not necessarily annoyed with because like this cave is supposed to be dark and dreary, me liking Batman and all that garbage. So we're just gonna delete all of this and not worry about it and probably be done with lighting. We really only needed it over on those converters right there. I mean, I don't think I can fit much big lights yet. I do want to do some lighting right here where our beautiful items are going, and maybe a few other places, but nothing major like above accelerators or the constructors or anything like that. Okay, honestly, I don't know what to do lighting-wise. Should I add some lighting? Maybe. Do I need to, though? No. This place is, like, good enough as is. I just hooked up the belt to the train station, so it's going. But, I mean, this place is wonderful. It's exactly what I wanted it to be. Dark, moody, and there's a lot of stuff everywhere. I love it. I forgot that YouTube kind of doesn't like brightness things, so hopefully this isn't just a terrible sight. Otherwise, this video will be so boring. You won't be able to see anything. Anyways, I hooked the train station up. It's going up to my storage room. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, subscribe, because I get to complete Phase 5 now, and as we know, I'm a mega genius. This proves it right here. This is my mega genius, my cave factory. Oh my god, it's wonderful. I love it. I don't, however, love this water texture. It's kind of annoying me, but can't do anything about that. Also, this looks beautiful with global illumination on. Anyways, goodbye.